At the edge of the Galactic Empire, thieves, criminals, bounty hunters, and other scoundrels are taking advantage of the recent rise of the Rebellion Alliance. Since losing the Death Star in the Battle of Yavin, the Galactic Empire turns all attention to quelling the rebellion. The residents of the Outer Rim now take full advantage of the distracted Imperials. A droid, a Rhodian doctor, a scavenger driver, and a smuggler turned self-appointed ship captain make up a ragtag crew on the run from the Hutts in a stolen VCX-100 light freighter. They are short on credits and long on the wrong type of attention. Join them as they forge their way in the Outer Rim in a galaxy far, far away.
Howdy, friends and floorheads. Welcome to yet another episode of The Good, the Scum, and the Villainy. We are at episode 12, and where we last left everybody, they were... I just realized I didn't play the opening crawl. I ended that video too early. Whoops. Oh, well. Where we left everybody is they had discovered the encampment of the refugees of the Salinor, and they are tidied up and in bed now. So let's bring in the cast. Greetings, cast. Everybody's here.
Hello.
So let's set the scene. It's morning on Chungala. We can see inside of kind of a hut cabin, and the walls are a mixture of some wood, some former plates and pieces of the old freighter that they salvaged. The ground is matted down, and we've got 3 bedrolls on the ground, and we can see Gal on his bedroll. We can see Dash on his bedroll. We can see Zaysh on his. We can also see B5 standing, but lights off, recharging and saving energy. And right next to him is our favorite IT droid, also turned off and conserving energy. Morning is broken. The thick air of the jungle infiltrates and fills this little hut cabin. And the front door flies open. A small, somewhat malnourished boy comes in and goes, "The captain wants to see you." And just before we see the reaction, the camera zooms down to Gal's boots. And on Gal's boots, we can see caked mud from the night before. So let's fade out and flash back to the night before. But before we do this quick flashback, we need a destiny pool.
Yay!
So let's go ahead and make that happen.
Destiny
So
awaits.
just a second. Let's bring it up. Incidentally, for obligation, we have our good friend Cody and Dash's obligation for his bounty. Let's go ahead and call for a destiny pool. So in your chat, you should see that. DZ gives you 2 light. We got 2 dark from Dash, 1 dark from Gal, 1 dark from Zay. I like it 2 to 4. So 2 light to
Y'all.
dark.
I hate this.
That makes me very... Oop, nope, I flipped one by mistake. There we go. All right. So let's go
Now you can
back
leave it.
and let's set our scene here. It's in the jungle. It's night. The camera in the middle of the night is we can see inside the cabin, similar to what we talked about before, but instead of it being morning with a young boy breaking in, this time it's in the middle of the night. Gal, you can tell he's really hadn't fallen asleep yet and kind of peeking with one eye open, seeing if it's late enough yet, And once he's determined everybody's asleep, Gal wakes up. Gal.
Awesome. Okay. Gal's gonna go ahead and do a quick look around the cabin outside of just peeking through his eyes, just to make sure that everyone's asleep and there's no one else inside the room that hasn't like snuck in since we've been there. But it's clear, so he's gonna very quietly get up, put on his boots that aren't caked in mud
Yet.
And he's actually going to shuffle over to Dash and give him a little bit of a shake. Okay. Dash, you awake?
And Dash will crack one eye and go, well, I am now.
Good! Great! But, quiet. It's very hard to do gal. Hey, so I was gonna go out and just have a little bit of a look-see. Probably not take anything, but I just want to get a lay of the land and see where this technology of theirs is, and just also make sure that they're not going to try and eat us or anything. I was wondering if you wanted to come along, and if not, just be prepared to tell everyone that I've been eaten by cannibals.
Dash, kind of his ears perk up at the sound or the idea of new technology that he might be able to find and borrow permanently. So he'll get up and go, oh, of course, Captain. And
he said the word. That's right. I always think that.
He'll always say it.
Am I able to see in that robot?
Am I able to see that heavy blaster pistol that Zaysh borrowed from Dash in his time of need?
You do. Is it in your character sheet?
It's not in mine, I don't believe. I'll double check.
Hold on 1 second. Let me bring it in for you.
I have relinquished all responsibility from this blaster.
Yeah.
Never again.
Alright, you no longer have it, Zay, so let me give you a fresh one. And it was a heavy blaster pistol, right?
Yeah.
There it is. Alright, you got it now?
Yep.
Alright, yeah, so you're able to grab that blaster pistol.
Yeah, he's just gonna clear the salt off his eyes and kind of polish off the blaster pistol and go, let's go find some cool toys.
Yes! Alright.
Alright, so we're going to cut to the exterior of this hut. Like I said, it's nighttime. You are outside. We see Gal peek the door open, kind of Scooby-Doo peek out. And Gal, you look out, and it's where everything you left it, except there's no fires going. They have long lost power, so there's nothing powered here on the outside, keeping lights going. And you kind of peek out, look around. Doesn't seem to be any activity. You've got Dash right behind you.
All right, let's go. All stealth-like.
Yeah. We'll see how
so
this goes.
the two of you slide outside of this hut cabin thing, and you are now kind of like in a courtyard area where there's all kinds of huts and whatnot surrounding you.
Mm-hmm. We've had probably a small look-see of what the camp was like before this. So we have a general idea of where people tend to live. And so Gal is going to head in the direction of buildings that probably aren't housing anyone and or places of the village that they specifically didn't want us to see, if that was the case.
So they didn't misdirect you from any particular place, right? But there's definitely huts, and they're all around about the same size, the huts themselves. Some a little bit larger, some a little bit smaller. But on the far, we'll say in the north part of the encampment, that's where that main hall was. If you remember, Captain Hersal brought you there soon in and kind of met with you in this main hall meeting area. And there's another large building to the right of it, just east of it. If you're looking for Cortala's laboratory, that's Cortala's laboratory.
All right. Let's go snoop there.
Yeah, Dash will definitely follow suit.
I think that we need a stealth roll. So between the two of you, who has the worst stealth?
I only got 2 green.
I have 5 green.
Unfortunately, Dash would have been in a much better position to do this by himself, but it was Gal's idea. So Gal, can I get an easy stealth check from you? So that'll be just 1 purple.
Watch me fail this.
Oh, we're watching.
I swear to God, if you piss off the cybernetics expert before I have a chance to ask for...
Well, I feel like we're not even
harm.
going to get there if I fail this, so we're just going to piss off some guard. Hooray!
Look at that. 1 success. So Stal, we see Gal kind of moving across this courtyard area towards this cybernetics laboratory hut. And there's a pile of sticks there, and we see Gal's foot almost step on the sticks, and then pulls his foot back and goes around it smartly. Dash is about to go, ah! Oh, okay.
I got
So
you.
The reason you need the stealth check is off to the side of this laboratory is a series of 5 cages, each of them containing a Nexu. All of those Nexu are sleeping, and you have not awoken them. But you're now at the door of the cybernetics laboratory.
All right, is it locked? Do they have some sort of locking mechanism? I don't know how primitive this laboratory is.
So the door of the laboratory is an actual metal door, obviously taken and built from the remnants of the Salinor. But it's obvious that just a push will open up. So it's not latched or locked in any way.
All right, he is going to push it as slowly as possible, just making sure that if it starts squeaking, he can stop.
Yeah, okay.
So you slowly start pushing it open. And you're able then to peek in, and you can see really what is a marvel when you consider, because for decades now, these people have been stranded on Chungala. And over these 20 some odd years, they have brought equipment and they have brought items over from the ship and, built it based off of the wood and the foliage that's around. And she has constructed a pretty impressive laboratory. And you can tell, Gal, and especially you, Dash, you can tell that somehow this is powered. There's nothing on right now, but based off of the wiring, and you see some battery items where these wires are plugged into, somehow she has battery power and is powering this lab. So for the first time since you've been in here, you're seeing some sign of technology. The lab itself has got several large tables. It's got different components. You see different pieces of cybernetic pieces and components. You see soldering guns. There's a little bit of blood on one of the tables. Looks like relatively fresh blood.
Oh boy.
And there's just enough ambient light from the moon coming in from the door that you can see pretty far in. If you were to go in there any further, though, we're going to need some sort of light source.
Or I might have goggles for this situation.
Oh, look at
I
you!
do not,
You-
so I will. Hold your shoulders, Congo
okay,
style.
so Dash puts his hand on Gal's shoulder, and Gal puts on his goggles, and Gal, you now see the full gamut of this area. What are we looking for, sir?
First up, is there anyone in here or anything?
As best as you can tell, there's nobody in there.
All right, we're gonna go inside and do a little bit of snooping. Not take anything yet, but just to make sure that one, this isn't like an evil mad scientist laboratory, in which case we need to maybe get out of here. And two, I mean, if there is really cool stuff, then we might take it. It might be boring.
So, Gal, as far as you can tell, you're having a hard time assessing exactly what is in there.
That's why I brought Dash.
Right.
Yeah, you do see what appears to be a claw, similar to what you saw in one of those Nexu when they attacked you in the ship. You can see that she's working on one of those. You can see some sort of head piece that would fit on a Nexu, and that's being worked on as well. The one thing is you looking through, and I'm not going to make you roll for this. Everything is what you anticipate it to be. You're expecting this to be some sort of primitive cybernetics laboratory. There does seem to be a box, and it's kind of a sealed box. You guys have a great history with boxes, and it's under one of the shelving units. And the reason it stands out to you is it's completely whole. So unlike things that are patchwork and pieces of this and pieces of that, and they've been welded together and tied together with vines and ropes, this is a self-contained box with a door on it, and it seems to have a locking mechanism.
We gotta see what's in that box.
With Dash's limited visibility, am I able to gauge any of the items on the table with like a mechanics check to see if anything would be of use?
Well, it depends on what it would be of use means.
Thinking anything that we could possibly put towards cybernetics. He's
I mean,
shocked.
if you were to grab a sack right now, and you could fill up there's just cybernetic components and everything everywhere.
Right.
So if you're looking for things to use to make cybernetic somethings with, it's everywhere.
Okay, yeah. The gears
We go
are
into
turning in his head.
the
but-
meeting tomorrow, and Dash just has robot arms. And we're supposed to be like,
yeah, he's not gonna take anything yet, but it's good to know.
I love the yet at the end of every one of those statements. Gal points the box out to you.
Can you see that? What?
Yeah, I'll put the goggles on. Do I see any sort of tripwire or anything in front of it that would be security? No.
No, but it does appear to have a mechanical, non-electronic lock on it.
Okay.
The other thing that you notice is that there are wires coming out of it.
Gotcha.
And some of them are attached to batteries, some are attached to different components, like the soldering gun.
Dash had a bad experience with electroshock last session, so he's a little uneasy at the thought of this. but he's gonna walk up to it and see if he can get a feel for the lock and see if it's any sort of he can get it open mechanically rather than
Yeah, and it looks like you can. And as you're looking at the lock, Dash, you're getting visions of 3 purple dice. So it looks to be about a hard skullduggery check in order for you to open this up.
Oh yeah, go right ahead.
Oh boy.
How far back is Gal saying that from? Sounds like pretty far.
Oh yeah, go
Right.
right ahead. I'm sure you're the best at this.
Closing the door behind.
Wow.
I did it.
Oh,
2 successes and 2
I've done this
threats.
before.
you get shocked anyways.
I'm not going to use these threats for strain. I will use these threats for you're hearing a stirring outside. So as you're unlocking this, you're hearing something sniffing outside. So that's what I'm using those 2 threats for. So you're, and the lock comes undone. You're able to open it up, and it's now as you've been inspecting it. It's definitely like a strong box. I'm thinking maybe like about 3 foot by 3 foot.
Okay. He's going to freeze as he hears those sounds. Go, Gal, you're not sniffing, are you?
Not right now, no. He'll just crane his ear to see if he can hear the noise.
So, Gal, as best as you can tell, it looks like there's some stirring happening from one of the cages. So there's a possibility one of those necks who have woken up.
I hate these things.
I'm gonna very slowly look inside and see if there's anything of worth in there.
So you take the door, and now that it's unlocked, you begin to open the door slightly. And as you're opening the door slightly, immediately green light just cracks from inside the box. As you open it up more, you look inside, and the internals of this box, there seems to be some sort of mounting mechanism. So there's mechanical at the bottom, some sort of like a dais or a pedestal, and then there's also the same on the top. And then you can see where these wires are coming in from the box, and they're left frayed towards the middle. So now you've got this thing from the top, thing from the bottom, these frayed wires from the left and right, and floating in the center. And this is what's causing the green light, is some sort of rock or element or something. And it's roughly the size of your index finger, and it's floating in the center. And that appears to be creating the power source, and you can see power jumping to the wires that are frayed in the box.
I'm gonna motion Gal over and go, Gal, what the heck is this thing?
I think it's
like
a
shiny
green rock.
I knew that was coming. Would I have... Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, it would any sort of knowledge check be able to help us on this? Not that I'm going to pass it, but...
I don't know. Let's make a case here. There's no such thing as knowledge geology. How about knowledge education?
Is this something worth stealing? Because then I could argue I could take knowledge underworld.
No, this is not, that doesn't
Dang
help.
it.
It's not what you're going to do with it that determines your knowledge check. But yeah, I'd be willing to do a hard. Someone can take a hard education check if you want.
I'm 2 green. What are you at?
3.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Are we...
Now
do we
know
get
who
a
the brains of
boost?
the operation is.
I know.
Do you get a boost? You do not get a boost, sir. But
What if
that's
I'm
always good.
Shoulder
I like just asking, though.
It's worth a shot.
Always worth asking.
Oh.
Could have used that boost.
Yeah, it would have made a huge difference. So you're looking at this thing, Dash, and I mean, you can tell it's some sort of, obviously solid object. Not real clear why it's, letting out so much power. And you wonder if it's potentially even enough power to power this entire laboratory. But it's not anything that you've seen before. Some sort of quartz crystal type rock type thing.
Do our data pads or anything have the ability to either record like a video or a picture or something that I can take back as just an observation?
Yeah. If you want to do a quick selfie with it, you can.
Yeah, I'll do the Grand Theft Auto the selfie.
Oh man! I mean, I wouldn't.
We see the picture
myself,
slide
but
over
go
to your
ahead.
backpack.
Yeah. I look at Gal and just go, listen, I don't know what this thing is, but we're making a lot of light right now.
Yeah. Also, if we take it, we are definitely getting caught. So,
Yes.
we know it's here. I would suggest we leave. My curiosity is sated. We'll just, if we want to take things, maybe wait a day or two.
Agreed.
All right. Are we going to watch Dash and Gal head back?
Yeah, if I could just try and make the lock seem untampered with at all.
Not a problem.
Okay.
Yeah, that's easy to do.
Awesome. Yeah.
All right. So you guys, we see the camera go to the outdoors, kind of high up, looking down over the courtyard area. We see Gal and Dash sneaking out of the laboratory, checking here, checking there. We see a Nexu kind of in the cage, kind of falling back to sleep. And we see them Scooby-Doo across the courtyard, back into their little hut that they have been given generously by these people that have been surviving on this planet for 2 decades while you're thinking of stealing from them. And you go back inside of the hut, and B5 is where you left him, IT is where you left him, and Zaish has not moved. And you guys curl back up into your bedrolls, and we fall asleep, and the camera fades, taking us back to morning. The little boy bursts open the door. The captain wants to see you.
I'm the captain. I don't want to see anyone. What?
I'm the captain.
Oh, right. Sorry. Little boy? I'm not good with children. Could you leave? I mean, we'll be out.
So the boy goes,
Just
okay,
go away.
He wants to talk to you. He's in the meeting hall, and he closes the door.
Can you be a captain without a ship?
Well, he has a ship. Half a ship, at least. It's bigger than ours.
So he's half a captain.
Sure. I don't think there's a word for that, though, so they're just going with captain.
I'm unclear on the naval ranks of sports team captains, but you probably don't need to have a ship to be a captain.
Or own a
Right, so-
delicious, crunchy cereal.
Right. So, Dash, as you kind of are getting up, everybody's kind of doing their thing. You notice a flashing on your data pad.
Yeah, is any sort of notification?
Yeah. Here's
Radiation
the
warning.
message, sir.
Yeah. Oh boy.
So, let's see here. What the heck? Why is it not? I had this all
Dash's
prepared.
bounty
It looks
gonna
super
come into
pretty.
Mildly upset that he got to
There
unlock
it
the
is.
lock.
All right. So you can go ahead and bring us over to the main screen. And this is the message that appears on your data pad. I'm going to assume you're going to share that message with everybody. It's a little hard for people watching the stream, so I'll read it to everybody. To Dash from Rome. Things went downhill at the wheel after you left. It seems several groups know about the beacon. My informants tell me the Yar clan may have planted a beacon on the protocol droid. You should inspect it immediately. I'm hiding in my secret salvage base on Raxus Prime. Did you find the Sal? What were you able to salvage? Included in this message are specific astronavigation instructions. You need to jump out of hyperspace at a specific location around Raxus. The Empire now occupies the planet. If you follow my directions, you should get to my base without being detected. Please send a mission update. Your friend, Rome.
Yeah, I'll definitely convey all of that to the crew, and my eyes immediately lock on our friendly protocol droid.
Now, you already took this out
Right.
of the protocol droid.
Right. Okay. Yeah. That's what I was thinking. I'm like, I thought we did that already. Okay.
Yeah, Rome's message was a little late.
Gotcha. Yeah. He's gonna look around at the crew and go, well, the wheel's out of the picture, huh? Sounds like we have a date on Raxus.
Oh, like a meeting. Okay. Yeah.
Well, depends your your definition of meeting.
Yes.
That's nice that we're friends now.
Are we going to message Rome back?
Yeah, he'll send a quick a quick message back to Rome, not to delay us going to the second captain. Just saying.
Are we at all concerned that this message is not actually from Rome, or that he is sending it in distress?
He stops typing the message. He goes, I don't know. He types like Rome.
Looks like his handwriting.
Yeah.
He really does like the capital planets.
Well,
like
I'm
that.
satisfied.
Yeah. Dash, against his better judgment, possibly because he was friends. Well, not friends, but worked with Rome. He's going to type out a message just saying, yes, dot, will confirm on Raxus Prime further details. He's not going to leave any information.
Keep it vague.
All right, so you hit send. That message is off. It's morning on Chungala.
Shall we go to the meeting?
Before we do anything, I want to kind of tap Zaish on the shoulder. Go, Zaish, I somehow stumbled across this, and he forgets he took a selfie with it, and he goes, we stumbled across this interesting rock.
So I'm imagining
night.
the data pad's there, and you bring up the pictures, the picture roll, and there's a picture of Gal making a funny face, Gal making a funny face, Gal making a funny face, and then you finally get to the picture of, of the rock.
Yes.
You had to delete one of those to make room for the rock picture.
Yeah, he's going to relay the picture, and he goes, I have no idea what this is, but I know you're a smart fella, and maybe you want to mull it over sometime.
Right, so you just idly found this and are now bringing me into presumably a new web of lies that
No.
I am supposed to now keep.
It's more like a warm blanket of lies.
Yeah. When you put it that way.
Also, Dash, we really have to talk about just blabbing about what we've been doing.
Well, hey, he's the smart one. If it is expensive, maybe we could make a little extra cash off of it. Who knows?
So, Zaish, you look at it, and education or a lore roll, whichever's better for you.
I think we all know that it is education.
All right, so that's going to be a 3 difficulty, a hard check.
So that's it.
He said looking it up to make sure.
Yeah, we all know, we all collectively know, that is the skill that Zaish is best at. There it is. And hard. Cool. Yeah.
3 successes and a threat. I'm going to bank that threat.
Mm-hmm.
3 successes is pretty good, Zaish. So,
Thank you.
I'm seeing you, kind of pinching the picture, zooming in, zooming out, kind of putting it together, and then you just stop. Because suddenly Zaish realizes what Joe already knew it was. Because I saw Joe's face when I and it is a kyber crystal.
Oh,
So knowing that, Zaish is going to have this moment of looking pretty intensely, kind of using the time of having that realization to really commit to this, and just say, I have no idea what this is. It's probably from some sort of far-off planet that I'm not expressly familiar with.
I would like to check and see if he's lying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is there any
So-
Hold on, he knows everything. What's up
is there
here?
any way to boost him? with
Yes,
kind
you
of good cop, bad cop here.
Dash, you can assist. And I'll give a boost to Gal. Gal, I need your perception. Zaish, what is your discipline?
My discipline.
Deception.
My discipline is. Do you mean deception? Or
No. What is it?
Okay.
Not. What do you go up against? It's not discipline. I need to play more RPGs.
Yeah.
What is the skill?
Thought it was,
Yeah,
was it
discipline.
vigil?
Okay.
If you're
My
lying.
discipline.
Yeah, I want Zaish's discipline.
It's a
right.
yellow.
It's a yellow. Okay, so Gal, I need your perception against one red.
Can do. Wait, did you say, was there a boost?
There is a boost from Dash. So I'm actually going to split that threat. I would like Zaish to take a strain, and I would like Gal to take a strain.
Of course.
Yet more betrayal
Those-
heaped
those-
upon this poor captain.
And Gal,
Those threats
you know.
take the form of them actually threatening Zage.
So Gal, you can tell that Zaish is not being truthful.
Okay. I would say with 3 successes, he knows that, but he also knows that Sage probably has a decent reason for lying, so he's not going to confront him right here with that.
Fair.
I do have a good reason. Whether Gal thinks it's a good reason is up to you. So.
All right. Are we headed over to meet with Captain Harsal?
I'm going to put my muddy boots on, but yes.
All right. So you guys suit up. And unlike when you went out before, now it's morning. And still hot as hell, muggy as hell. Slapping the bugs on the back of your neck. But there's activity this time. So you can see people carrying, obviously carrying some water from what appears to be some sort of well that's been dug in the far things. Fires have started, and you can see people, starting to cook and really basically begin the day. So you head over to the meeting hall, and door's closed, but you push it open. And there's kind of that lounge area that we talked about before, and sitting there is Captain Harsal, and he's got some sort of basically like a cup of coffee, and you see him sipping it. You see the steam coming off the cup. He gestures for you to sit down. Sitting next to him is an Arcanian woman, Kratala, is there with him. Sit. We've got much to talk about.
Dr. Cortalo, it is lovely to finally meet you. We have heard so much about you.
She just kind of nods.
Cool. Cool.
So you
I'm
sit.
picturing that coming out of a Rhodian's mouth.
You sit down. Harsal says, Cortala and I have been talking. I want to understand, what is the plan?
Well, we said yesterday that we take a small number of you to meet our friends and negotiate getting you guys off of this planet.
And where are you planning on taking us exactly?
My pilot knows.
Raxus Prime.
My doctor knows.
I'm not familiar with Raxus Prime. What are the chances of us encountering the Empire?
Moderate to high.
What did you say? I couldn't understand it.
I said moderate to high.
So,
I was just picking the exact wrong moment to pipe in.
Cortala pipes in. There's no way I will jeopardize this technology falling into the hands of the Old Republic. What you call the Empire now.
Were you planning on putting the technology on our ship? Because we were just going to take some of you. I mean, we could if you want, but you could, Look, okay, the Empire is all over the stinking place, but the thing is that we're smugglers. We're really good at this.
She turns to Harsal and she goes, we have to commit to the original plan. We have to stay here. We have to stay here till the end of our days. You can see Harsal struggling.
If I may, this is probably not specifically convincing, but I will just say that if you have made like bounds and leaps within cybernetic technology, and that could be used to assist people in the future, we have avoided the Empire for a decent chunk of time. I feel relatively confident in the ability to ferry one piece of information to another place. And if it can be used to assist people in the future, I feel like it should be your duty to do that. I might be overreaching.
We learned during the Clone Wars that there are no good guys, bad guys. Everybody involved in that war had bad and ill intentions. So if there are people fighting the Empire, I'm not going to feed my technology to them as well. It could just as easily be used. It's too dangerous.
I'm not saying give it to the rebellion. There are people who are not fighting. Wars happen around people and life continues on. This isn't a thing about sides. This is a thing about assisting the wider community.
Heck, we can just take you to the Outer Rim and dump you on some unknown planet and you can live out your days there. But with, like, buildings and toilet paper and stuff.
What Cortala's trying to tell you is the whole reason we ran, the whole reason we came here, the whole reason we ended up living here for all of these years was to make sure that the technology, the work, Cortala's work, could never fall into the hands of warmongers again.
Then why
The
haven't you
Empire
destroyed
already
it?
has the technology to blow up a planet. I don't think a couple robot Nexus are going to impress them.
There's also that.
Cortala's eyes light up.
In a good way or a bad way?
She goes, blow up a planet?
Yes.
Yep.
If you believe counter to their propaganda, I believe there was some story about a reactor going wild on an entire planet and destroying it immediately, which sounds far-fetched, but exactly the kind of thing a ruling power would say to deflect from their own violent tendencies.
Are you telling me the Empire has a weapon that can destroy planets? And you're telling me now that you're going to be able to keep us safe?
Affirmative.
Harsal, this is a terrible idea. We don't even know if they're working for the Empire or not. Harsal goes, Cortala, I hear you. I hear you. It's not just about us. It's not just about the technology. It's also about all of the people living here. Friends, we need time. We need time. The discussion's not over. I'm not saying we're staying, but we need time to discuss things. Can we reconvene at lunch?
Of course. Take all the time you need. I mean,
If
not
it
literally,
matters,
but
that planet-destroying weapon was itself destroyed by a band of loosely connected rebels. So, if anything, the Empire isn't very good with small bands of resistance.
I hear you. We need time. So they kind of go. They give you the awkward. Are you going to leave now? Look.
Yeah.
I do leave.
we're going. We're going. You know where to find us.
Now, IT was. I followed you here, and you see Harsal say, "IT, I'd like you to stay here. You and I have a lot of catching up. It seems like I've got 25 years of history that needs to be relayed. So you stay here."
Of course, sir. Of course, I guess I can relate all of the entirety of all of the histories that has happened for the past 22 years, 4 months, and 55 minutes.
You guys headed out?
Yeah.
All right. Right before you leave, Harsol just kind of says, "Stay inside the barriers."
Of course.
So you guys head out. A little bit little hungry. A woman comes up to you and says, "Have you eaten yet?"
No.
So she motions over to, and just so you know, there's campfires everywhere, right? And some of them are built like stoves out of stone and things like that. Some of them are just primitive campfires, and you see just huddles of groups and families, and they're kind of in their own little areas in these outdoor areas cooking. And she invites you over. It's her and what you assume to be her husband, and the little boy who came and woke you up. Zaish, I think more than anybody, looking over kind of the people that live here, they're not starving, but there is some malnourishment happening, right? So there's they're not eating like kings here, but not to the point where people are dying of starvation by any stretch of the imagination. The woman invites you to sit, motions to the child to make plates. Some sort of meat type beast is being roasted over the fire, and they're slicing off pieces and bringing it over to you. And the plate has the slices of this cooked meat. It's got some berries, and the same berries, of course, that Gal was eating 2 episodes ago. And she hands the plates out and says, please enjoy.
Thank you very much.
How many people in this encampment are younger than 25 years old?
Well, we've got definitely a second generation. I would imagine what's left here of us, there's probably 60, 70 adults now. I haven't done a count recently, and of us, there has to be at least 15 children younger than 15.
Wow. Have you ever thought about getting off the planet?
I would love to get off this planet.
No, it's never occurred to
A lot
them.
of us would. The question is whether Harsol and Kratala ever would. You're not the first ones to come here. You're the first ones that have come here and he's kept alive.
Oh,
Well, that's good.
We're not quite sure what you've said to him, but at this point, normally, we've had 4 visitors before you. 4 ships that have found us. None of them were allowed to live. Either Kratala's Nexu were taken to them, or Harsol would order some of his little droid army. But obviously, for some reason, he's keeping you alive. So whatever you're telling him, I would continue to tell him. But
What is
yes,
the
there's
exact
lots of us
nature
that want to
the
leave.
Technology they're trying to keep from the Empire.
I know nothing. I know that she does, she's been doing work on Nexu and enhancing the Nexu. I know Shasha over, and she points to another hut. She was able to replace his hand. He lost his hand, and she was able to build him a hand. She's brilliant, but I know nothing about this technology. I literally worked on the Salanor in the kitchen. Most of us here had no idea what his plan was. And now we're here, and we've been here for a long time.
discontent is probably climbing gradually then?
It has. I mean, I wouldn't say all of us are beginning to question the captain, but there's more of us. But none of us are in a position to challenge him or Kratala. And they've kept us alive for a very long time. Chungala isn't necessarily a friendly planet.
Understandable.
And we've made a home here.
If we're just going to mill about for the morning, Gal's going to do some propaganda and try to get people even more excited about the idea of leaving.
Okay, so let's do this. Let's do a average leadership check. We'll kind of condense down this into a montage of Gal making friends and slapping skin.
Leadership. Average?
Yep, 2 purple.
Okay. Jeez.
Wow.
Hey,
So, Gal,
what can I
you're
say?
able to. Not only are you able
you
to
go.
very quickly figure out who is who, you get a sense of who really has been driving this. And there's a gentleman a couple huts down that you're kind of directed to as you're having these conversations, as you're talking to people. Yatal is his name, and it appears to be he's kind of the one that's stirring the pot, that's kind of been getting people to talk about not only, if we ever have an opportunity to get rescued, we should go, but even talk of maybe disposing of Hersal, and that maybe they're not as safe as they think they are with Hersal in charge. Now, during all of this, I'm imagining Zaystash, kind of milling about, maybe with Gal, B5, just, again, kind of a montage of the day progressing. And go ahead, Zaysh.
I was gonna say, I feel like if Gal is getting away with stirring up a riot, then Zaysh is probably off, probably honestly for him, entertaining children.
Yeah, oh, excellent. Excellent.
Like
and you're a
telling,
huge hit.
Weird, Rhodian stories from all the time that they have not been alive and have not had schooling and stuff.
Not from your books.
No, very specifically not from those books.
So as part of this montage, we do have a scene where Zaysh is there kind of doing the C-3PO and End of Jedi to the Ewoks storytelling of the last 25 years. Pa-poom! And the kids are all just completely glued. There seems to be, though, right before lunch, there seems to be some sort of commotion. And you're not there, but you can see it from across kind of this living area in this courtyard. And a boy has run to the meeting hall where Hersal was and has called Hersal, and you see Hersal being brought to the front gate. And there starts to be kind of a mulling in a crowd kind of moving towards the front gate.
Let's go check it out.
Yeah, let's go.
So there's whispers, there's more. I think there's more people here. Someone they're telling me there's more people at the front door, at the gate. Hersal has brought with him a contingent of about 7 B1 droids that are with him. Cortala is kind of off to the left, and she is unhooked and has released one of her Nexu, and the Nexu is with her. You see Hersal open the gate, and there's the crowd is kind of mulling around, and I'm imagining you trying to look to see, and it looks like he's talking to somebody. There's a Rhodian man standing at the gate with a scar across his face. Happens to be the exact same Rhodian man that you encountered at the wheel and that had a nice conversation with Gal as you flew across the surface of Changala. And this Rhodian is having a conversation with Hersal. You're not anywhere close enough to be able to pick up on what this conversation is.
So hard to read Rhodian lips.
You're gonna get very close and try to hear that conversation. You just gotta.
So, Gal, you're kind of pushing your way through the crowd, trying to get closer. And as you're getting there, Hersal says, "You can come in, and we can have this conversation. Just understand that these 7 droids are just a fraction of the protections that I have set up here. So if you and any of your friends try anything, It'll be the end of you. Yar says, of course, of course. And he then makes eye contact with you, Gal. And kind of goes, acknowledges you.
I have.
So Hersal is walking with Yav. With Yav is the, what is the species? The semi-fish, bad, stereotypical Chinese pilot.
Solstin, right?
I know this.
Solstein.
Nemoidians. Oh, okay.
Nemoidians, right?
Oh, no,
Or no?
Yeah, it's Nemoidians.
yeah, they're
'Cause
like
he was
the,
mocking Leonard Nimoy.
yeah.
Hold on. Yeah.
Star Wars.
Yes.
Yeah.
Star Wars. Good stereotypes. So you see him walking with him, and then there's a contingent of about 6 other Rhodian, 4 of them male, 2 of them female, and they are now working their way to this meeting hall.
Do all of the Rhodians have all of their arms? Out of
all the
curiosity.
Rhodians. You do a quick count B5, and for every Rhodian head there are 2 arms.
Okay, I'm making a note of that.
So-
A extremely similar question because words are fun. Do they have any arms on them? As in, do they have weaponry?
They are all armed.
Okay.
So they make it to the meeting hall. Hersal gestures for them to enter into the meeting hall. Yavyavin and Yavyavar and his posse work their way into the meeting hall. Hersal, Kratala go into the meeting hall and they close the door behind them. And it just there's whispers and talk among the crowd. And like, I can't believe we there's a whole nother group here, and he didn't kill them immediately either. Just so much has changed. Just kind of whispers and stirs.
I'm gonna go up to Dash.
How much do you know about those battle droids?
Would that be a mechanics check, or would he? How much? I don't want to metagame it.
Give me a sense of what you want to know about them.
Go ahead.
Well, yeah, I'll go further then.
It's my impression that some early models had central control units, which, if disabled, disable all of the droids. Is that true?
You know that.
Yeah.
True.
He nods back and he points to each of them. He goes, "Yep. There's stories of entire battle droid armies. Just." And he smiles.
Don't say the G word.
Defeated by a
Yes.
heroic species.
Yeah.
A noble
the
and
odds?
proud race.
Oh man.
Perhaps
literature
that's
is
something
sought
we should
after
look into
all
as a
across the
contingency
galaxy.
plan.
What was that?
Perhaps that's something we should investigate as a contingency plan.
Yeah. Would Dash know that that's kind of in a central console of some sort on that? It's not something that he could probably hack. It's
Yep.
something where you need to find a terminal.
Well, let's do
For
this.
it.
Let's do a quick mechanics check as you kind of look over. You get yourself close to one of those B1 droids, and you kind of do a look over. So let's do an average mechanics check.
Okay.
Let's see how much you can tell about the situation, the B1 droid situation. It makes me very happy that you guys are using all of these successes early on. So,
And
Dash,
no light side points yet.
so there's a couple things you can tell. These are definitely heavily modified, and in some ways because of disrepair and kind of hodgepodge put together. The transmitters that that were on the B1 droids that kind of link them all, they are not there. So there does not seem to be the same type of connected electronics that network to them. So they all appear to be independent.
Yeah, I'll return back to P5 and just say, yeah, I mean, These are some special droids. You're a special droid, but these are some special droids.
Thank you.
I cannot observe any sort of transmitter that would link to a central command system on them.
I'm gonna go up to one of the battle droids.
Okay.
And
Greetings. Report your central command network protocol address.
I do not understand the request.
Well, never mind then.
Worth a shot.
I'll go back to Dash.
Roger, roger.
I tried.
Subtlety has never been your strong suit, B5. He puts his arm on you, but it was a good shot.
So, as you're kind of looking at the droids, kind of mulling about, there's quite a stir. This has been probably the most exciting 48 hours that this encampment's had in a very long time. Go ahead, Gal.
I will actually let the people know through whispers and other such skullduggery that these people have tried to kill us multiple times, and they're up to no good. No, sir.
Based off the strength
They
of that
are
last
straight
leadership
dicks.
check, Gal, we don't need to do that again. So, you, as close as you can be to having these poor survivors eating out of the palm of your hand, they find you very believable, which is obviously they've been in the jungle too long. But
Astonishing.
yeah, they are smoking what you're growing. So as the day progresses, we get a little bit closer to lunchtime. They've been in there for about an hour, and the little boy that woke you up that morning comes running over to gather you and says, "Harsel wants to talk to you."
Pat him on the head. Good. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You can go.
So he wants you to follow him over to the meeting hall.
Just to the kid in the stage whisper. Don't worry, he's very weird, but nice.
I like you. You tell good stories. So he brings you over to the meeting hall and lets you in. You come into the meeting hall and you can see that Yav and his group have made themselves nice and comfortable. Harsal's got his back to you. He's standing. He turns around as soon as you walk in. Have a seat. The story that I'm getting from our newest visitors is a little bit different than the story that the four of you told me. So I'd like to give you another opportunity to explain to me why you're here, why you were looking for us, and where you want to take us.
That is probably
IT.
on the par with, them trying to murder us just so they could claim whatever Dr. Cortella was looking for, and chasing us across the galaxy to try and kill us.
IT-3PO.
Yes, Master.
Could you inform the captain the relationship that Rhodian Empire has with the Galactic Empire?
Oh, of course. So, historically, for at least the past 2 decades, the Rhodian Empire has worked very closely with the Empire. And the Rhodians have, in many ways, helped the Empire expand.
Harsal goes, I've heard enough. He turns to Yav. He goes, what is this? Yav makes a bit of a motion.
That's why we're not part of the Rhodian Empire. I told you we're an offshoot of the Rhodians. We don't work with the general group. We are here. We're here to help. We're going to bring medical supplies. We're here to set up trade.
Zay actually laughs out loud.
Hey, Zaysh, ask them a very simple question about medical blood supplies that they would know if they were, I don't know, medically inclined at all.
Oh, okay. what is the makeup of the vaccine that is useful against Traxxas disease, which is very widespread across the galaxy and easily curable?
So he turns to you.
Well, obvious it's a polymorph that has fused of this, and he starts talking.
And to Zacia's surprise, it's like it's all right.
Yeah. Huh.
That didn't work well.
Neat. I feel like
Well,
if you
they're
weren't
still
trying,
alive.
I feel like if you weren't trying to kill us earlier, we could have actually had a discussion. But
Twice.
The only reason I was trying to kill you is because I knew what your intentions were.
And those were... Because I haven't heard this story.
You've been sent here by Rome to steal their technologies, murder everybody, and take all of this to the Empire. We have done our best to try to stop you, but you got here before we did.
Do
He's
we
a good
look like
actor.
we can
Actress.
exterminate anyone compared to you?
You see Harsal go, he's got kind
I
of
mean,
a
I
point."
could.
Shut up, be fun.
Help me understand
What's
exactly
your
what's
source
going
on
on.
this version of events?
My source is firsthand. We've been trying to stop you this whole way.
you actually think we're working for the Empire and are going to kill people?
Harsal says, looking at Gal, you have one chance to tell me the truth. I don't believe you've told me everything. I want to hear everything.
What, that we were sitting here assuming that everyone was dead and that it was technically a salvage mission, but there are people living here. We were never given any sort of order to execute you. And the thing is that salvage requires people to be dead. Otherwise, it's legally not salvage. So it still belongs to you. So I'm just trying to perpetrate some sort of meeting between you and our employer to get your butt off this planet and still get us paid without anyone having to die. I don't want to die. You don't want to die.
So I just want to mark the stream has been going for about, it looks like about an hour and 20 minutes. We've gone this far, and I think this is episode 12. And I think Gal just told the truth.
I know, I was gonna say, you should lie because you'll probably get better dice.
And I'm imagining, I'm like Dash is like, just waiting for the line, it never comes.
Just shrugging like, right.
So, you were anticipating this to be a salvage. That's where you expected to make your profit. Now you're hoping to make profit by connecting us with Ropok's son, Rome. And that's how you're hoping to get paid.
Yes.
We usually find that things we do often don't go right, so we have to improvise, and if improvising means we save a bunch of people from a jungle planet, then that seems like a pretty good trade.
I believe that things don't necessarily go the way you want them to. I believe that.
They never do.
So Yav pipes up.
Look, I can prove it to you. I've got documents that show that they're lying. I will go back to my ship. I will bring them back. And you will see the deception that is being brought against you.
Harsal,
I do not believe he has documentation.
all right, Yav. I'm going to send 3 droids with you. You can go to your ship, bring back this documentation. When you return, we will all meet. I will decide who's telling the truth and who is lying. And the liars will never leave Changala. Yav
Awesome.
stands up, kind of brushes off, seems very confident about this situation, motions to his group, and they head out the front of the meeting hall.
Still, like, more than anything, like, the murder is, like, weird, even though we have like people with weaponry. Really, the thing that's getting me is the Empire thing. That's like, that is like cripping wild to me. That's. I'm very curious
When
if
you
there
say
is
the
actually
liars
documentation.
will
That's
never leave Chungala, you mean about this, right?
I'm saying that either he's lying or you're lying. And I will determine that. And those that are telling the truth, we can talk. We can potentially come to an arrangement.
You
But
do
if it turns
realize
out
that
the four of you are the liars, this is the last planet in this galaxy you'll ever see.
it's a nice planet, but you do realize that he's just going back to either get bigger weaponry or just the ship to come level this entire village. Did you honestly only send 2 droids with that small army?
The droids will communicate with
concur
me.
that is his.
Yes, I am confident. First of all, there's no way through there's a reason we chose this area. No ship is going to be able to in any way be able to zero in or locate this. And if he's here for my technology and for all of the work that Cortala has done destroying this and destroying us does him no good. So yes, I am confident that he's not going to destroy anything. And if he foolishly thinks that he'll be able to overtake this encampment, he's sorely mistaken.
One other question. Why didn't you just let him leave when we were not allowed to go anywhere else? That seems a little unfair. We've been perfectly happy staying here with you this entire time. Honestly, it's kind of rude.
I was not aware that you wanted to leave. It was my understanding you wanted to leave with us.
Well, not leave the planet, but I know we have some things that might make living here just slightly easier on our ship. We were going to be nice about it. Doc's got some medical supplies back there, but you're like, no, you gotta stay around the...
To be fair,
The trial is this evening. I'm not sure you can make it back to your ship and back in time for the trial.
Trial.
But they can. You know where his ship is?
He told me he could make it back by this evening. I know where your ship is.
What, the fighter? Okay, well, that's fine. Obviously, you are just going to believe everything he says, so we're just gonna exit this meeting hall. I'm honestly quite frustrated.
I will say, obviously, I have not decided. That's why you're still breathing, sir.
Thanks.
I am not breathing.
Well done, B5.
And I
So
leave.
he kind of, yeah, he
Walk
motions you out. So, what is the game plan?
Oh, it just occurred to me. You can fake documentation.
Yep.
Yeah, I thought that was the obvious thing that we
Yep.
were going to point out.
Oh, now all of this makes a lot more sense. Oh, I'm slightly more worried now. That's fine. Well,
Okay.
I suppose I'll finally get to use all of those years I put into debate club.
Doctor, how would you rate the difficulty of removing a Rhodian's arm?
What kind of scale would you like for me to use?
Binary.
Like a 4?
I nod in approval.
So, do we want to do anything before evening approaches?
Honestly, I would pose it to the group that perhaps we try to find a way out of here and see if we can catch up to the Rhodians, because we all know they're not up to any good. And if for some reason they don't come back packing heat and willing to exterminate an entire village, we can come back with them, because we snuck out, but we were willing to come back because we were telling the truth. Or we can just run away.
It's not going to be a good look if we go murder them and then come back.
The intent is not to murder them, just to make sure they don't murder everyone else. If they, bring out the heavy guns, we can run back here and warn everyone.
I believe what Horsal is saying when he says that this place is more unassailable than perhaps other places. They would have to come here with weaponry, and depending on the exact mark of B1 droid, it is possible that they will notice. There is also reports of them being slightly incompetent and vaudevillian in their approach, but there is, of course, the possibility that they're actually good at what they do. I don't know, I'm not a military strategist, and I'm not exactly the sort of person to sneak out of an entire encampment.
Well, if we're gonna try to follow those Rhodians, we're gonna need to make that decision now.
Before we go, what does Dash think?
Dash would be timid on following them, just because his experience in the jungle has been a poor one thus far. But he's more so don't rock the boat.
Okay. Captain's outvoted. That's fine. I'm gonna go ahead and maybe let the populace know, just in case. Not all of them
Such a manner
die.
of people.
They like me.
So, Gal, what exactly do you want to communicate to all of them? What's the message you're seeping out?
Obviously, I already explained to them what the Yar clan is to us and what they tried to do to us, and then point out that they were left to leave, and that they have the best situation for them is that everyone here was no longer alive, because then they could just obviously take all the technology and then run with it. So, if they have the resources, which I think from how you describe the Yar clan, they probably have access to enough stuff to assault this village. That they just need to prepare for possibly a big fight. Oh, whoa, someone.
Do we lose you there?
He said
Easy?
bio break.
Okay.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. So you get that out, and the people are kind of behind you. They're not really trusting this Yar clan stuff. In fact, you see some of them, checking to make sure that their weapons are in order. That most of them really are at slug throwers at this point, not blasters.
Mm-hmm.
And saying, and they're like, yeah, if they come back and they try to start anything, Gal, yeah, we've got you. I think you're our best chance of getting off of this planet. So we've got your back.
Now that we've been attacked by them twice, and we're in a relative, hopefully for at least for this afternoon, we're in a relatively safe place. I think Zesh kind of wants to think about what he actually has heard about the Yar clan as not a criminal element, but as a people who exist within the community of Rhodia. Community of a planet. So, that's a weird way to say that, but yeah.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. It's going to be a knowledge underworld check. So yeah, you can definitely do that. And give you a little bit of background on them.
Difficulty?
Average, 2 purple.
Cool.
So you have an awareness, obviously, that they exist. They are typically doing all kinds of bad things, salvage. They will been known to do bounties as well. Beyond that, you don't have a real sense of that, other than they exist and they do bad things. How do you want to use those advantages, though, Zesh?
I have a weird one, and it's not mechanically really gonna do anything, but it's kind of set the scene of why Zesh doesn't trust these people. I want to say for the 2 advantages that Zesh's brother was extremely tight, or at least with 2 advantages, it could be extremely tight or vaguely related, however you want to code about it, but like Zaysh at least knows of one Yaya, just not too much about them, and knows that because they fraternized with his brother, that they're probably not good people.
Oh yeah, I'm totally good with that. Totally good with that. So there is a bit of a family connection there. So yeah, I'm good with that. I might have to ask what your brother's name is here in a little bit, but we'll see.
Yeah.
But yeah, yep, you've got that connection. All right. Anything before evening approaches?
Just being very antsy.
I'm gonna access
now,
my case
the one
files
thing
on law.
The one thing I will tell you too, because I haven't really described it, so is these palisades, right? This wall that surrounds the encampment here. It is the walls are about tall at different points. They're made up of, just like everything else, a mixture of wood and natural building materials that are around here in the jungle, as well as reinforced by parts of the Salanor, parts of the frigate. All of them, though, in a very classic medieval castle way, do have a walkway. And you can see that there's obviously Harsal has set up patrols. So you can see at times that there's B1 droids that are doing the walk all the way around the upper levels of the palisades. Sometimes there's men and women, survivors, doing the same. So there is visibility outside while they're walking around.
Could I ask for the afternoon if Dash could, I don't know, possibly fix my electro snare that he wasted yesterday?
We can give that a try. So, Dash, what kind of talents do we have that might help with the revitalization of our snare trap?
Talent-wise, let me just double check. I don't believe he has too much outside of his mechanics. Yeah.
So incidentally, between episodes, Dash got himself a brand new specialization. He has now picked up the universal specialization of Scavenger. All right, so Dash, let's go ahead and let's do a two difficulty. And because of the limited resources around you, there'll be a setback.
He removes 2 setbacks, so I will drop that bad boy.
Well, good, because I was going to give you 2.
Yeah. Well, all right. Yeah, we'll just do this straight up.
Well, there's a Kyber crystal sitting around here. If that helps.
All right, 2 successes. So, Gal, do you still have the trap in your inventory?
No, I deleted it. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
I got time. Electro snare.
Snare. Okay, give me just a second.
Yeah, Dash really, he works super carefully on this as to not reapply the trap and repeat yesterday.
Intimate knowledge of its workings.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
Gal, that's back in your sheet now.
Thank you.
All right, anything else we want to do before we set the next scene?
Entertain kids.
All right, so we're going to entertain kids.
Not entertain children.
I require repairs.
I'm gonna go stare at the Nexu in the cages and just swear at them.
So, one thing about the Nexu that's interesting, Gal, is these definitely have a different temperament than the Nexus that you've encountered. Now, it's obvious that the cybernetic ones that you met were predispositioned to drive you out of the ship, but they're much kinder to you until Dash is around. If Dash is anywhere near the cages, they get all stirred up. They get all kind of agitated. Their hairs and the little spikes on their back spike up, and Dash figures that out pretty quick, and he stays clear of the cages. Dash, do we want to attempt and fail to repair B5?
Yeah. Well, he sniffs his armpits, trying to see if he stinks. He's gonna look at B5.
As is tradition.
Yeah. He's gonna offer to repair that gash in his armor.
So B5, what is your situation? Do you have just a crit?
It's only 1, but it's bothering me.
Okay. Well, if you have a crit, you want to get rid of it. So it's just a single difficulty?
I don't. No. It's just 1 wound.
Oh, 1 wound. Okay, yeah. So just that'll be just an easy mechanics check. 1 purple.
Okay.
And you have no crits, B5?
No.
Okay.
I don't get critted. I give the crits.
Someone's smug.
And
Nice.
true Dash repairing B5 tradition.
B5, you don't have any strain, do you?
You should
No,
all be.
I could-
The only one
couldn't
that should
even-
have strain is Dash should have 1 strain and Gal should have 1 strain.
I got a
recover
strain
a
from
strain?
lying.
Oh, that's right. Zaysha got 1 from lying as well. But everybody
It's okay,
else.
Kodo.
Oh, thank you.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm-
could I recover a strain and
I'm
add a
fine.
boost to the next skill check?
Yeah. Yep.
2.
So, Gal, you've made friends here in the camp, and you're kind of waltzing around. The sun is starting to set, evening is approaching, and one of your buddies is up on the palisade, and you see him looking out, and he turns back and he gives you the signal you told him to give you when the Yayar clan begins to return.
oh, goody. Is there any of my crewmates around?
Yep.
Okay. I'll be like, oh, goody, they're back. Exciting. Can he clamber up on the wall and look at them himself?
You sure can. So you work your way up the palisades, and you get up to the top to where your buddy is. What's your buddy's name?
Oh, geez. I'm not good with Star Wars names.
Then give me a non-Star Wars name.
And then put an apostrophe in it, and then it's a Star Wars name.
Exactly.
It's just a word, except it's not quite a word.
What's his name?
Fallon.
Gal?
Fallon? Yes.
Do you call him Jimmy, or do we just call him Fallon?
He's foul. That's close to
So
Gal.
Fallon signals you up.
Fallon, yeah.
Fallon signals you, Gal, and Gal, you go up the steps. You get up to the top there, and he points out, and you can see out there through the jungle. You can see the Yayar starting to work their way back. First off, doesn't seem to have brought any vehicles or cannons or anything with them. They seem pretty much equipped the way that they came out and the way that they left. But I do want a perception check from you.
Okay. I have macro binoculars. Does that help in any way?
It gives you 2 boosts. So let's
Heck
do
yes.
let's do a hard perception check, and go ahead and add 2 blue.
Scan for thermal detonators. Those are easy to conceal.
You said hard, so that's 3.
3
Right.
purple. Yep.
Okay.
Lots of dice. Very nice. 2 successes and 4 advantages. So for your successes, the same number of Yayars that left came back. Like I mentioned, they seem to be equipped the same way that they were before. The only thing that you notice is kind of an odd body language. So as they're working their way kind of up this trail to the main gate of this thing, you see them kind of looking around a bit, talking to communicators. Just a certain oddness about all of that.
Oh, no. Well, they brought friends. We're all gonna die. Been nice knowing you, Fel. I'm gonna go tell my friends.
Okay, you go down and you tell them that you think that they brought friends.
Yep. B5, do you have, I don't know, some way to possibly just check every single radio frequency around us? Because we might be surrounded.
Do I?
I would imagine actually probably the best person to try to pick up some comms action would probably be Dash.
Dash, probably.
Yes, and it's
Yeah.
not involving fixing
I
E5.
hold up.
Yeah.
In answer to your question,
I have this.
and I just hold up a regular communicator that I use to talk to you.
Awesome, great. And he'll grab it and hand it to Dash. Do the thing I just said.
He's gonna take out his. He has a comm link as well, and it looks like he's kind of
Yeah.
tinkered with it to pick up like a ham radio type deal.
So, just real quick, Zion Stormwind, thanks for the host and with the extra viewer. I appreciate that. So, Dash, let's do a quick mechanics check and see if you can't tune this puppy and maybe pick up some outside frequencies. I'll make it an average check with 2 purples.
Can I pass along one of my advantages for him?
You sure can.
Okay.
Very nice. 2 successes and an advantage. So, you're able to pick up this.
All I need you to do is get inside again and get the gates open.
This might be a stretch. For a force die, would I be able to have that, like a record feature on this comlink?
You can flip a light side point, and you could have recorded that.
Sweet, I will do so.
All right, I know it's a great
You,
use.
we recognize that voice.
I was so excited for this trial.
Do you recognize that voice? No. Too much static, too much there, so it's not a familiar voice.
Does it sound Rhodian?
It does not sound Rhodian.
This is scary.
I can't tell if it's a limitation of the voice modulation software, but it sounded like that other bounty hunter that we ran into on the wheel. But I guess we'll find out.
They all sound the same through my little voice morph for radio chatter.
I thought we had 24 days.
I said 10.
New plan, gentlemen. Someone go let everyone know, especially the leadership, that we're about to be attacked by probably a lot of people. I'm gonna go stall them if I can. Who wants to come with me?
Yes. I will.
Split the party.
Though I think we might have different definitions of stalling.
Well, we'll try my way first, and then your way second. How about that, buddy? You can take some arms, some Rhodian arms. You don't have those yet, do you?
No, Captain.
All right, so Dash has a recording. Gal and B5 have decided that they're going to try to stall them. I'm dying to see how this plays out. Zaysh, what do you want to do? Dash, what do you want to do?
Well, I guess if I'm being told to go to the leadership, we can.
Okay.
He looks at Zaysh and goes, you know, I've watched a lot of Star Wars crime or galactic crime trials, and for strong effect, wouldn't it be best to bring this out of the blue, Your Honor, and ask her what comlink or what station her comlink is on, because I have all this info. Catch her.
I feel like there is definitely a sense of dramatic timing in certain like show trials that they stream for reasons. I feel like it's probably safer for everyone involved if we let them know before and less in a dramatic fashion.
Yeah, you could tell that he's probably watched far too much Judge Judy.
Pretty sure the idea is to not let them inside, Dash.
Yeah.
It's right.
Stop pulling Dash along. Instead of being dramatic,
duty.
let's be practical for once.
All right, so the camera follows Dash and Zaysh as they head to the meeting hall to inform Kratala and Harsal of this. I want to know what Gal and B5 are doing.
Gonna run over to the gate.
You get to the gate.
Okay, how does the gate open?
So there's big gate and then a door. So that one person can come in and come out. So when Harsal let in the Rhodians, he opened up the big gate to let the group in. But individuals can come in and out of the individual door. And it's not locked or anything.
Okay. B5 figured out a way to make sure that the big door doesn't open like ever. Gallen's gonna wait until
Ever?
He's gonna look around. Are the people around him like his friends?
Sure. You had you had like 4 successes on that leadership check.
Yeah, in fact, ever. We'll just say it was an accident due to a psychotic droid. People believe that stuff.
So, and what you can see is
I'll make it
there's a
believable.
mechanism kind of set up where a big log can be brought up to kind of block the door from opening. So, so it's dragged along a track so that the door can't be pushed in without breaking this large log.
And what position is it in now?
Currently it's open, but a couple of Gal's friends are up there.
Okay, and then how is it moved?
It's literally there's like a catwalk that they go to, and you can see where they would grab onto a thing and then just push it manually to drag it
What
across
kind
the
of
track
thing?
to close. I'm sorry?
Is there any what kind of thing do they push? I'm looking for a point of failure where if it's broken, then they're unable to move it.
There's handles. So there's handles on both sides where 2 people can grab each grab part of the handle and push it, or pull it to open it back up again.
Okay. Well, I'll start with just going up to the group and...
Gal would like us to close this and secure it.
Are these the people that Gal's been talking about? Does he think something's going on?
They are the murderers, correct?
Yep.
They look down for kind of confirmation from Gal.
Yeah, they got a bunch of friends out in the forest. They're talking with them. We got a recording of their communications, and they're probably going to surround us and try to exterminate the entire village. Yeah.
So they start pushing the log across to close it up.
Thank you.
All right, that is latched.
Okay. I'm assuming this is the not the individual door, just the big one. Okay.
Correct.
So I can still use the individual door because that's the stalling tactic. He's just gonna poke his head out of that and wait for them to come within like reasonable distance to see him, but also to see the walls and know people that there is an audience going on to this.
Okay.
Okay.
They're within shouting distance.
Okay. He is going to just rip the door open, and he's gonna stagger his butt out onto the sand. Yeah, you are, you big, dumb, green Rhodian jerk. You came back. I thought you were going to blow off this entire village with your big, stupid ship. Come give me a hug, buddy.
A curious display of hubris, but very well.
He's obviously very confused by this. Very, very confused. So are you kind of staggering out there?
Yeah, he's going for the hug.
Okay, as you start approaching,
he'll take out his canteen, pull a swig of it, make sure it dribbles down his face onto his coat, hat falls off, the whole shebang, just selling the fact that he's been day drinking hard since you have your Yar left.
all right. So as you're staggering out, let's go ahead. Trying to gauge. All right. Watch the dice roller. So as you're staggering out, there's from up above in the trees, shots start firing, Gal, and they're landing to your left, to your right, and they're coming from the trees itself.
Yikes.
So the people on the stream, hold on, I gotta switch so the people on the stream can see what happened, because I just realized the dice roller, they can't see what actually fired at them. So that is what fired at them.
I was wondering if we...
Well, could have gone worse.
So Gal, you're getting fired at your feet. What are you doing?
I was going to ask for DZ for something, and then I completely forgot about it. So it's not going to happen. But I was going to ask him if he had any extra grenades left.
Yeah, and I believe I put one on the ship at some point, and then later I looked and the ship inventory did not have it in it, and I don't remember which kind it was. So I used a gas grenade. I used a sticky grenade on the Rhodians on the wheel, and I used a knockout grenade on the Nexu.
There's a
Nexu's
armor-piercing grenade.
There's an armor-piercing grenade as well. But I think I might have moved that onto the ship.
Yeah.
Now,
yep,
or I think you maybe moved it into Gal's pocket.
Yeah, could I burn a light side point to say that he had it on him and Gal had actually asked and was given the grenade?
You sure can. Let's flip that light side.
All right. He was hoping he could possibly slip it into Yav's pocket, but for now he's just going to throw it at them and then go back inside the door.
All right, give me just 1 second. So what kind of grenade was it again? Armor
It's
piercing?
armor piercing.
Armor-piercing
So
grenade.
Gal, I have moved that to your inventory.
Awesome.
You should now be able to click on it. It should be using your ranged light. It's going to be 3 difficulty with a setback. You are out of light side points, so I'd like you to upgrade the difficulty. I'm flipping a dark side point.
Okay, 1 setback. These guys haven't activated this combat, so I get a boost.
You sure do.
And we'll go ahead and upgrade that. Upgrade difficulty.
No, you don't want to upgrade. You're just going to add the boost. And then upgrade the difficulty. Yep.
Okay. I got my numbers all screwed up. Okay, I am 2 yellow, 1 red, 1 purple, 1 blue, and 1 black. Let's see what happens. Well.
Okay. So, you throw the grenade. And now, let me double check my grenade here. It has... Let me bring it up here. I think you get to activate. You got 1 success. Okay, so you did not get any advantages. So you can't activate the blast.
Okay.
So we see the grenade tossed from Gal. We see it fly over, roll into the group of them. Immediately, one of the Rhodians comes over to try to get its hand on the grenade. The grenade goes off, and it takes out 3 of the Rhodians immediately. Yav pulls his blaster. Tulo, the Sulian, pulls his blaster. The other ones break off and off to the left and off to the right. We start then seeing more blaster fire coming in from the trees as we fade to black. Stick around to after the credits for the discussion afterwards. We'll be right back. All right, so let's discuss. Let's start with you, Gal. Talk to me about this session.
You got to talk to people.
You
That
definitely
was
have
great.
people on your side, which is a good thing.
got some friends to fight off these stupid Rodians. And now, maybe we will finally kill them, and Gal's conscience will be slightly cleaner than it was going to be the other couple of times. That, yeah.
Any
Someone else
concerns
got
about
much of
the
that.
Imperials?
Now I honestly. Okay, at least someone else. They don't have faces, so it's going to be a lot easier to shoot them. Hopefully.
So tactically, B5, what do you think is the smart move here?
I probably wouldn't have gone for the go out acting like slavering drunk. That would not have been my opener.
It always gives people pause.
But at this point, I would say tactically, Gal should retreat to the fortified position that we had.
What's Dash's assessment of the situation?
But hey,
now that you hear blaster file exploding while you're in there talking to Harsal.
Yeah, I mean, he was really excited to live his dream of being in like a prosecutor or something, and now he's like,
Law and Order, Jungle Planet.
I guess I can do that. Guess I'm all right at it.
Dun dun.
So you have not disclosed. Joe Zaish has not disclosed what he saw in that picture, but I would like to know what's going through Zaish's head about what he saw in that picture.
Ooh, yeah, not really surprised. I would have to have something pretty powerful to be able to keep this whole thing running. It's a neat curiosity, and there is a reason why Zaish did not disclose exactly what it was to the group. If you'd like me to get into that now, I can. Or we can hold off.
Joe, that's up to you. Do you want the cast to know, or do you want to keep it to yourself?
No, we'll go for it. Zaish's assessment was if I'm not going to name names, but just so I have one person to kind of speak about during this whole explanation. Let's just say if Gal knew about this extremely valuable thing that was kind of powering this community, I don't think the "hey, let's make friends with everyone" would have really worked out, or at least Zaish doesn't think that's how Gal would interpret this. Like, kind of maybe assuming the worst, probably assuming the worst. Zaish would have assumed that Gal would have taken the crystal and been like, "We got a thing that's worth a lot of money. Let's bounce." So it's almost like by completely omitting that, Zaish is almost like guaranteed involvement in these people's continued survival.
I think that was a very smart assessment. What essentially, if I'm going to paraphrase, you figured increasing the attractiveness of the greed factor and trying to minimize tapping into that part of Gal may have been a smart move. Do we think the character Gal, knowing that, I mean, it's almost priceless. Do you think that it would have changed Gal's game plan, or?
Well, he would have probably been formulating an idea to steal it, but he still would have gone through the day the same way. And now that he has friends here, he has enough of a relationship with the people, maybe not the leadership of the people here, that he's like, yeah, this is probably really bad if I take this from them. So let's definitely find a reason to get them off this planet, because then we can just take it.
Almost a heart of gold.
Joe really wants the crystal since I've got the force. Yeah. But
Gal's going to steal it for you, and then it's going to mess with your brain. You're going to try to bring down the ship again. We'll have to throw it out the airlock.
All right, let's talk about XP real quick. Everybody's going to get 10, except for Gal is going to get the 15. So go ahead and open up your character sheets, and let's go ahead and add that to your character sheets. I am going to open up Zaish, or I'm going to open up Dash. And let's go ahead and get rid of your obligation.
Yeah, I understand the confusion. It's always my obligation.
And we need to go ahead and do an obligation roll. So can I get a D100 from you, Dash? Give me just 1 second here so we can see the roll. Give me one moment.
Yep. What's the command for it again? Just so I have it ready.
/R 1D100 with a space after the R. Or you can hit the little dice icon next.
Oh, yeah, you can roll it like that.
Yeah.
All right. Ready whenever you are.
I am when you are, sir.
Here goes.
85. Nobody.
85.
Nobody gets
saw
an
the 80.
obligation. It's a miracle. You tried to get there to get to this ace there in the 80s, high 70s. But look at that. We're going to have an entire session without obligation. That's incredible. All
It's
right.
a life day miracle.
That's right. So let's quickly cover a few things. One, Doug, you want to go ahead and plug your podcast?
Hi, Doug from Steam Powered Scoundrels. A Malifaux podcast is very unserious. So if you like a little bit of wackiness, I'm pretty much the same person on the episode, but instead of in video, it is just in audio format because that's how podcasts work.
And often your lovely wife is on there, and she is hilarious and fun. I've been a guest on there before. Joe has been on your show a few times.
Very nice and polite Roman. And there's Nate too, I guess.
Yeah, so a couple of the people that we've seen on the stream. Joe, do you have any shout-outs or plugs?
Oh, this is entirely unexpected. If you like anime, I do a podcast. It's called WTF Anime.
And I feel bad because I have not had you plugging that, Joe. I keep forgetting about it.
It's just like
I didn't even
it's
know.
not at all on. Yeah, it's nothing related to what we're doing. But if you like anime, my friend
or your
Travis,
voice.
I have a all right voice. It's the accent mostly people are attracted to.
Can confirm.
Should do well later.
So what's the name of the podcast, Joe?
WTF Anime.
WTF Anime. Excellent. Cody, do you have anything you want to plug?
Not in particular. I'm not content creating yet. It was on the horizon, and some life got in the way, so I had to put it off.
But you have been running a game for your locals, right?
Yeah. We're hoping to start recording that and just putting together videos. Maybe copycatting Craig and doing some GM prep videos or something, just to get more Star Wars content out there.
I like it. How's the game going? More importantly, how have the players been? Have the players been enjoying it?
Oh yeah, they're great. They had a very similar session to ours where they rolled 0 failures. So it's been interesting trying to gauge the difficulty, but live and learn.
Very cool. And last but not least, DZ, do you have any plugs or shout outs?
No, I am plugless.
Okay. What are your two favorite podcasts, DZ? You can't say Tabletop Talk. You can't say Steam Powered Scoundrels. What are two other podcasts that you enjoy?
First of all, I have been on Steam Powered Scoundrels twice. So
I did not realize that. Jeepers.
Mm-hmm. I was on their faction drafting where I created the All the Sexy Ones faction. And then another Explorers one. Okay, so favorite podcast might be Mr. Sunday Movies is a good one, I think.
Nice.
That's the name of the podcast. It's the name of one of the hosts, at least. But they talk about movies and news and stuff. And literally all my other podcasts are Malifaux related.
Cool.
Except for Binge Mode, I guess.
What's Binge
Bye,
Mode?
Craig.
Bye, Craig.
Lovely having
Craig.
you here. Big fans.
Did you lose me?
Yeah.
We lost you.
You can't see me, or?
No,
we got you.
We got you back.
Oh, okay. Phew. The stream kept going, so that's good. All right.
Well, great.
All right, cool. So what's this? And the rest of the podcasts are Malifaux related, you said?
Yeah, just all of them mostly. Like today I was listening to the Other Coast one.
Nice. That they're doing a good job. They really have kind of gotten their stride. Some good content coming from them. All right. So my podcast, Tabletop Talk from Third Floor Wars. We do a lot of Malifaux content. We also do a lot of non-Malifaux content, a lot of RPG content, talking to designers in our Insider Insight series. The next stream is going to be our
I liked
Forbidden
the artist
Land.
one.
What's that?
Sorry to interrupt. I liked the artist Insider Insight from the other week.
Yeah,
That was a good one.
with Alyssa Menold. who's incredibly
Yes.
talented, and yeah, that was she was a phenomenal guest. So also our next stream is the Forbidden Lands. It's going to be not next Thursday, Thursday, June 24th at 8 p.m. Eastern, and then DZ, we've got our next one scheduled for this crew. Do you remember off the top of your head when it is?
It is the 27th at our normal time, because that's a Sunday.
It's a Sunday, the 27th, Sunday afternoon. So for all of you that stuck around to watch, I appreciate it. Let's quickly do a raid of another channel. Let me just see. You know what? Here's my gift to you. We're going to raid the glass cannon. All right. Take care, everybody.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Thanks, Craig.
Bye.
We're sorry.
We're sorry.
Wow. Did you just go straight drawfee?
That's actually what I pulled that from, yeah.